Friends, stop. Stop right where you are. Take whatever it is out of your hand. Put your phone down. Turn the television off. Look at me. Look at me and listen. For the next few minutes, you are going to hear the truth. Not the feel-good, pat on the back. Everyone gets a trophy truth. The real truth. The hard truth. The kind of truth that cuts like a blade. Because it has to. It has to cut deep enough to wake you up. You are asleep. Most of you are walking through your lives in a coma. You are numb. You are going through the motions. You wake up, you go to a job you hate, you come home, you scroll through a device that shows you the highlight reels of everyone else's life. You feel a pang of jealousy, a pang of inadequacy. You eat something you shouldn't, you drink something to forget, and you do it all over again the next day. You are a ghost haunting your own existence. And you know it. Deep down, in that quiet place you try to drown out with noise and distraction, you know you are capable of more. You know you were built for more. But you flinch. You flinch at the thought of making the hard call. You flinch at the thought of looking in the mirror and telling yourself the truth. You flinch at the discipline required to wake up an hour earlier. You flinch at the rejection that might come if you actually put yourself out there. You flinch at the pain of the workout. You flinch at the discomfort of the cold shower. You flinch at the silence required to hear your own thoughts. You flinch at the vulnerability of a real conversation. You are a professional flincher, and your whole life, your entire existence, has become a reaction to that flinch. You have built your entire personality around avoiding the very things that would make you strong. And what has it gotten you? A comfortable numbness? A safe, soft, predictable mediocrity? A life that looks fine on paper but feels empty in your gut? You have traded your birthright of strength, of passion, of purpose, for a bowl of lukewarm porridge. You have sold your potential for the illusion of safety. Today that ends. Today we talk about becoming the man who doesn't flinch. And let me be clear about what that means. It is not about becoming a brute. It is not about becoming a bully. It is not about being heartless or cruel. Some of the strongest men I have ever known were also the gentlest. The man who doesn't flinch is not the man who feels no fear. He is the man who feels the fear, recognizes it for what it is, and moves forward anyway. The man who doesn't flinch is not the man who feels no pain. He is the man who feels the pain, accepts it as part of the process, and continues the work. The man who doesn't flinch is not the man who has never doubted. He is the man who hears the doubt, his own and others, and uses it as fuel for the fire. The flinch is a reflex. It is an instinct. It is your lizard brain, that ancient, primitive part of you, screaming at you to stay safe, to stay in the cave, to not venture out where the saber-toothed tigers are. And for your ancestor, that reflex was a gift. It kept him alive. But for you today, that reflex is a prison. The saber-toothed tigers are gone. The dangers you face are not physical predators waiting to eat you. The dangers you face are failure, rejection, embarrassment, and judgment. And your lizard brain cannot tell the difference. It treats the possibility of asking for a raise the same way it would treat a charging lion. It floods your system with cortisol, makes your heart race, and screams at you to run, to hide, to flinch. Your entire life's mission, if you are to become the man you are meant to be, is to override that reflex, to train yourself deliberately and painfully, to stand your ground when every fiber of your being wants to recoil, to become the man who doesn't flinch. This starts with the body. Do not underestimate this. The mind and the body are not separate. They are one system. A weak, soft, undisciplined body houses a weak, soft, undisciplined mind. You cannot have a fortress of a mind living in a shack of a body. It does not work that way. The body is the foundation. If the foundation is cracked, the whole structure is compromised. So, you must train your body to not flinch. You go to the gym, not for the vanity, not for the mirror muscles, but for the character. You go to the gym to do the thing you do not want to do. On the days you are tired, on the days you are sore, on the days you are uninspired, on the days the rain is pounding against the window and your bed is warm, that is when you go. That is the day that matters. The days you feel good, anyone can train. The dogs can do that. The man who doesn't flinch trains on the bad days. He goes and he picks up the heavy thing and he puts it down. And he does it again and again. And in that simple, brutal, repetitive act, he is telling the universe, and more importantly, he is telling himself, I am in control here. Not my feelings, not my fatigue, not my excuses, me. When you are in the gym and you are on your last rep, the one that burns, the one that makes your muscles scream, the one where your mind starts negotiating with you, telling you that's enough, you've done enough, you don't want to hurt yourself, save it for next time. That voice is the flinch. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can listen to the voice, put the weight down gently, and walk away. Or you can look that voice in the eye, tell it to shut its mouth, and grind out one more rep. That one rep is everything. That one rep is the difference between the man who flinches and the man who doesn't. That one rep builds the neural pathway. It strengthens the connection between your conscious will and your physical reality. It teaches your entire nervous system that you are the master, not the slave. You take this training into the cold. You stand under the cold water in the morning. Your body will convulse. Your breath will be stolen from you. Your mind will scream, this is insane, get out, this is dangerous. That is the flinch. And you stand there. You breathe. You control the breath. And you stay. You stay for one more second than you thought you could. You are teaching yourself, in the most visceral way possible, that you can endure discomfort. That discomfort will not kill you. That on the other side of that initial shock, there is clarity, there is power, there is life. This is the foundation. Physical discipline. The deliberate daily practice of doing what is difficult, what is uncomfortable, what is necessary. You build the body that does not flinch, and you are forging the mind that does not flinch. And then, you take that mind out into the world. Look at your life. Look at the areas where you are flinching right now. The areas you avoid. The conversations you are not having. The decisions you are postponing. The dreams you have put on a shelf, telling yourself you will get to them later. When the time is right. When you have more money. When you have more experience. When the kids are older. When the stars align. This is the flinch in its most destructive form. You are flinching from your own potential. You are flinching from your own life. There is a conversation you need to have with your boss about your value, with your partner about the state of your relationship, with your father about the past, with your child about the future, with yourself about the truth. You know the conversation. You rehearse it in your head. You imagine all the ways it could go wrong. And so you don't have it. You flinch, and that unspoken thing sits between you and them. A wall of silence, poisoning everything. The man who doesn't flinch has the conversation. He walks into the fire. He says the hard thing with respect, with honesty, with courage. He does not control the outcome. He cannot control how the other person will react, but he controls himself. He does not flinch from his responsibility to speak his truth. There is a decision you need to make: to leave the job that is killing your soul, to start the business that terrifies you, to end the relationship that is draining you, to move to the city that calls to you. You know the decision, but it feels too big. The risk feels too great. What if you fail? What if you're wrong? What if you end up broke, alone, humiliated? So you don't decide. You stay in the miserable, comfortable, familiar. You flinch. And every day you stay, you die a little more inside. The man who doesn't flinch makes the decision. He weighs the facts, he listens to his gut, and he commits. He leaps. He understands that the pain of regret, the pain of wondering what if, is 1,000 times worse than the pain of failure. Failure is an event. Regret is a scar on the soul. There is a dream you are chasing, or rather a dream you are not chasing. You have a book inside you. You have a song. You have a business idea. You have a vision for a life that is bigger than the one you are living. But you tell yourself you're not talented enough. You're not smart enough. You don't have the connections. You don't have the time. The market is too crowded. The timing is bad. These are not reasons. These are the flinch. They are elaborate, sophisticated excuses your mind has constructed to keep you safe in the cave. The man who doesn't flinch pursues the dream anyway. He starts before he is ready. He speaks before he is an expert. He builds before he has all the resources. He understands that the only way to become the man who can handle the dream is to start walking towards it. The path reveals itself under your feet. You cannot see the whole staircase from the bottom, but you take the first step. You do not flinch from the uncertainty. This path, the path of the man who doesn't flinch, is a lonely one. Do not expect company. The world is full of flinchers, and flinchers do not like being around someone who is trying to stop flinching. It makes them uncomfortable. It shines a light on their own cowardice. They will try to pull you back. They will call you crazy. They will tell you you're working too hard. They will tell you to relax, to take it easy, to not be so intense. They will say you're taking life too seriously. They will offer you a drink, a distraction, a way to numb out with them. They mean well, most of them. They are not evil. They are just asleep. And they are trying to get you to go back to sleep with them. You cannot go back to sleep. Once you have seen the truth, once you have felt the fire of what it means to stand your ground, you can never unsee it. You will be alone. You will be misunderstood. You will be the subject of whispers. Let them whisper. Let them think you are strange. Let them think you are obsessed. Their opinion of you is not your business. Your business is the work. Your business is the mission. Your business is becoming the man you were born to be. And part of that work is learning to be with yourself. The man who doesn't flinch is not afraid of solitude. He is not afraid of silence. In the silence, the voices come. The doubts, the fears, the regrets, they bubble up from the depths. The flincher immediately reaches for his phone, turns on the TV, calls a friend, does anything to avoid being alone with those voices. He wants to drown them out. The man who doesn't flinch sits in the silence. He listens to the voices. He lets them speak. He acknowledges the fear. He acknowledges the doubt. He acknowledges the regret. And then he says, "Thank you for sharing. I hear you, but I am moving forward anyway." He does not let the voices drive the bus, but he does not pretend they don't exist. He integrates them. He masters them through awareness, not through avoidance. This is the inner game. This is the real battleground. It is not out there in the world. It is in here. in the quiet space between your ears. The war is fought in your own mind, and the enemy is the part of you that wants to stay safe, that wants to be comfortable, that wants to avoid pain at all costs. You must wage war on that part of yourself every single day. You must starve it of the attention it craves. You must feed the other wolf, the one that craves challenge, that craves growth, that craves meaning. How do you feed the right wolf? You feed it with discipline. You feed it with action. Every time you do the thing you fear, you feed the right wolf. Every time you choose the hard right over the easy wrong, you feed the right wolf. Every time you get up when you fall down, you feed the right wolf. Every time you tell the truth when a lie would be easier, you feed the right wolf. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you feed the right wolf. The promises you make to yourself are sacred. They are the bedrock of your self-respect. If you tell yourself you are going to wake up at 5 a.m. and you hit the snooze button, you have broken a promise to yourself. You have proven to yourself that your word means nothing. And if your word to yourself means nothing, what does your word to anyone else mean? You erode your own foundation, one broken promise at a time. The man who doesn't flinch keeps his promises to himself. He wakes up when he says he will. He does the work he said he would do. He is a man of his word, first and foremost, to the man in the mirror. That is where integrity is born, not in your dealings with others, but in your dealings with yourself. This is a long game. There are no shortcuts. There are no hacks. You cannot meditate your way out of this. You cannot manifest your way out of this. You cannot buy a course that will do this for you. This is the slow, brutal, beautiful work of a lifetime. It is the work of showing up, day after day, year after year, and choosing to stand your ground. It is the work of failing, and failing, and failing again, and getting up one more time than you fall. It is the work of looking at the wreckage of your past mistakes, the times you did flinch, the times you ran, the times you sold out, and forgiving yourself, and using that pain as fuel to do better today. You will have days when you feel like a fraud. You will have days when the old habits pull at you like gravity. You will have days when the flinch is so powerful, so overwhelming, that it feels like a physical force pushing you back. On those days, you do not need to be a hero. You just need to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. You just need to do one small thing that you don't want to do. Make the one phone call, write the one paragraph, do the one set. The small victories compound. They build a momentum that over time becomes unstoppable. Do not underestimate the power of the mundane. The man who doesn't flinch is not made on the mountaintop. He is not made in the moment of great triumph. He is made in the thousands of small, unglamorous, uncelebrated moments of choice. The choice to make his bed perfectly. The choice to eat the food that fuels him, not the food that numbs him. The choice to read the book that educates him, not scroll the feed that entertains him. The choice to go for the walk, to do the stretch, to send the email. These are the bricks. And over time, brick by brick, you build a fortress of a soul. And what is the reward for all this? What do you get for becoming the man who doesn't flinch? Do you get a big house? Maybe. Do you get a fancy car? Possibly. Do you get the admiration of others? Perhaps. But that is not the point. Those are side effects, not the goal. The reward is something far more valuable. The reward is the look in your own eyes when you see yourself in the mirror. It is the deep, unshakable knowledge that you are made of the right stuff. It is the peace that comes from knowing that when life came at you hard, when the pressure was on, when the moment of truth arrived, you did not run. You stood. You stood in the fire, and you were tested, and you were not found wanting. The reward is freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of your own fears. Freedom from the opinions of others. Freedom from the desperate need for comfort and safety. Freedom to live a life of purpose and passion and power. When you are the man who doesn't flinch, the world opens up to you. Opportunities you never dreamed of present themselves. People are drawn to your strength. You become a rock in a stormy sea, a place of refuge and certainty for others. You become the leader you were always meant to be. But you don't do it for them. You do it for you. You do it because the alternative is unacceptable. The alternative is to live and die as a shadow, as a whisper, as a man who had the spark of greatness inside him, and let it be smothered by his own fear. The alternative is to reach the end of your life, look back, and feel the crushing weight of 1,000 flinches, the path not taken, the word not spoken, the love not given, the risk not run. That is a hell I would not wish on my worst enemy. And it is a hell that awaits you if you do not wake up, if you do not stand up, if you do not become the man who doesn't flinch. So, where do you start? You start now. Not tomorrow, not on Monday, not on the 1st of the month. Now, right here in this moment. What is the one thing you are flinching from right now? What is the one thing that if you did it, would change the trajectory of your life? It might be a conversation. It might be a decision. It might be an action. Identify it. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Don't strategize it. Identify it. And then, in the next 24 hours, you are going to do it. You are going to walk into the fire. You are going to prove to yourself, in one small but significant way, that you are done flinching. You will be terrified. Good. Let the fear be there. Feel it in your chest. Feel it in your gut. Let it be a physical sensation. And then, with your heart pounding, with your hands shaking, with your mind screaming at you to stop, you are going to move forward. You are going to take the action. You are going to have the conversation. You are going to make the decision. You are going to take the step. And when you do, something miraculous will happen. On the other side of that action, the fear will be gone. Not because you conquered it, but because you moved through it. Fear is a doorway. On this side, it looks like a solid wall. But when you walk through it, you realize it was just a curtain. The only way out is through. The only way to kill the fear is to do the thing you are afraid of. This is your life. This is your one wild and precious life. It is not a dress rehearsal. There are no do-overs. The clock is ticking. Every second you spend flinching is a second of your life you will never get back. Time is the one currency you cannot earn back. You can make more money. You cannot make more time. And you are spending your time, your most precious resource, on cowardice, on comfort, on fear. Stop it. Stop it right now. Look in the mirror. Look into your own eyes. See the man who is there. See his potential. See his strength. See his fear. And make a decision. A final, irrevocable, absolute decision. I am done flinching. From this moment forward, I will stand my ground. I will face the discomfort. I will do the hard thing. I will speak the truth. I will pursue my purpose. I will become the man I was born to be. It is a decision you will have to make again tomorrow. and the next day, and the day after that. But it starts with one decision, one moment of absolute clarity and commitment. The world does not need more sleepwalkers. The world does not need more flinchers. The world is on fire. There is chaos. There is confusion. There is a desperate need for men and women of strength, of integrity, of courage. People who can stand in the storm and not be blown over. People who can look into the abyss and not flinch. People who can be a light in the darkness. Be that person. Become the man who doesn't flinch. The path is hard. It will demand everything from you. It will break you down and rebuild you. It will strip away your illusions and leave you with the truth. It will hurt. It will be lonely. It will be the hardest thing you have ever done. But I promise you this, it will be worth it. It will be worth every drop of sweat, every tear, every moment of doubt, every ounce of pain. Because on the other side of it, you will find yourself, the real you, the you that has been waiting all this time for you to have the courage to show up. So, get up. Get up off the floor. Dust yourself off. Look at the mountain in front of you. And take the first step. Do not flinch. Do not look back. Just climb. Your life is waiting for you. Go take it.